Death in dreams is really about some kind of change or ending you're dealing with in your real life. Death in a dream may not actually be about dying. Instead, it often represents change, the closing of a chapter, or the end of life as you know it. The subconscious will show it's this change in the form of death so we can better understand the finality of it. We can let go of that which we no longer need, so we can grow and embrace that which is coming. 1. If you don't wake up immediately after dying in your dream, so many people tell me they've actually experienced the feeling of death and leaving the body. That dream would indicate that change has happened. If you feel yourself leaving your body in that dream, that's a good indication that you're feeling like this change is transforming you. 2. If you wake up right before you die in your dream, this could just be your body's physiological response to a fear of death. Or you can wake up before the death happens because, in real life, the actual change has not been completed. You're on the verge, you're on the cusp of it. 3. If you know you're going to die in your dream, and you can't escape it, this has to do with the change you're anticipating and know is going to happen. That sort of dream is preparing you for this inevitable ending. 4. If you die violently in your dream, while dying peacefully indicates a welcome change. Dying violently is the opposite. There's a change happening that you're resisting, or you're afraid of the change that's going on. 5. If you die peacefully in your dream, this is a really good indication that the change you're going through, you're okay with it. You're going through a welcome change. 6. If your partner dies in your dream, there are some questions to ask yourself if you're having this dream. What change is happening with them? Have they lost a job? Have they lost weight? Are they working a lot more and you never see them? How have they changed? Or how has your relationship with them changed? If your death dream involves someone you are regularly in contact with, like a partner or a friend, it may not be the worst idea to reach out to them. Dreams about your partner dying. Dream that your partner is dying could be an indication that they are changing in some way. Alternatively, it could mean that your relationship with them is ending, or the way you see them is transforming. If you dream that someone you know has died and you regularly communicate with that person, I would tell them, she urges. You don't have to outright say, I had a dream, and in it, you died. But saying something like, I had a terrible dream about you. I hope you're doing well, and be careful out there, is actually more appreciated than you'd think. Letting that person know that they are on your mind, even if it's sprung out of weird circumstances, is always sweet, and we take that for granted. 8. If your child dies in your dream, this is one of the most disturbing death dreams that anyone can have, but it's much less scary than it seems. It's because your child has reached some sort of milestone. It's the end of the phase of their life. Whenever they start crawling, start walking, start feeding themselves, all these different big phases of life mark the end of that younger child. It's actually the way we kind of grieve the loss of that phase of their life. Because once you have a child, time goes really fast. 9. If you kill someone in your dream, if you're the one doing the killing, then you are the one actively making some kind of change in your real life. So if you are trying to quit drinking, if you are trying to eat better, if you are trying to change careers, what part of yourself or what part of your own life are you killing off, ending? 10. If your friend dies in your dream, this will likely mean that your relationship with your friend is changing. If nothing is different, this dream could indicate something else. Your friend is going to represent a part of yourself. How are you like your friend? What quality do you share? Maybe your friend is always cheerful and the one that's always emotionally supportive, and you dream she dies. What's going on with that part of you? Have you become depressed? Are you in need of cheering up? Are you having a hard time finding happiness right now? 11. Dreams about your parent dying. Dreams about a parent dying could be due to changes in your parent's life or changes in your relationship with them. However, she says your parent may also represent some part of yourself. In this case, your parent could be standing in for your own role or identity as a parent. 12. Dreams about your sibling dying. A dream about your sibling dying could signify that your relationship with them is evolving in some way, or that some aspect of life is changing. However, your sibling could also represent a part of yourself in the dream. For instance, if you have a personality trait in common with them, or if there's some part of them that you identify with. This dream of your sibling dying could mean that that part of you is on its way out. 13. If you have a dream where someone returns from the dead, did they say anything to you verbally, or was it just a visit? How did it make you feel? Were you sad, angry, peaceful? Did they look like they did in life, or was there something different about them? I know that not everyone believes that those we love can come back to us, even in dream form, and I respect that. Still, especially if they were someone you loved and who loved you, you can thank your mind for the gift. 14. If you witness an autopsy in your dream, an autopsy is to figure out the manner of death. So an autopsy in a dream would mean you are trying to figure out why this relationship ended, or why this situation ended, why your job ended, whatever the case may be. What ending has happened in your life, and what means are you doing to figure out why? 15. If you dream of going to a funeral, the main element of a funeral dream is that your subconscious is telling you there is something you need to lay to rest in your real life, something you need to close the lid on and recognize as no longer being an issue. Of course, whose funeral it is makes all the difference. If it's your own funeral, what part of yourself is now at peace? If it's the funeral of a friend, is there some issue between you two that you can now put to rest? 16. Dreams about suicide. Provided you aren't currently experiencing suicidal thoughts, this dream may mean you are a process of transforming yourself or going through birth. If you or someone you love are having suicidal thoughts. 17. Dreams about dead bodies. A dead body in your dream could represent something in your real life that is no longer viable, useful, or effective, such as an idea, a relationship, or a job, or business. Your subconscious is showing it to you in the form of a dead body so you can better understand its finality, which can help you let it go, bury it, and move on with your life. 18. If you dream you're at a graveyard. If your dream takes place in a graveyard, but there's not a funeral happening, it could be a sign that something from your past is being dug up that ought to stay buried. Your subconscious is showing you this issue in a graveyard, setting to let you know how wrong it is to excavate it. 19. If you have a dream about a recently deceased loved one dying all over again, the loved one has just passed, dreams wherein they die again can permeate the grieving process, explains Fourkiller. These dreams can signify several things, the most common of which is lack of closure. Maybe you didn't have the conversation you needed to have before they passed. Maybe there were loose ends you thought you could get to later. If you want the dreams to end, sometimes just saying, "Thank you for showing me this message received," after you wake up is enough for them to end. 20. If a stranger kills you in your dream, it's not an actual person you know, then this stranger is going to represent a part of yourself, or it can represent just the forces at work that are making this change happen. If you have this dream, it encourages you to ask yourself, am I feeling pressured to change? 21. If someone you know kills you in your dream, if it's someone you deal with closely, like a family member or best friend or your partner, then that means they are probably urging you to make some sort of change in real life. Death in a dream is a natural, occurring change that's happening, whereas murder is a forced change. You have to force yourself to quit smoking, or you have to force yourself to cut off a friendship. If someone you know and are close to is trying to kill you, then they are probably urging you to make a change that you are resistant to. 22. If you dream of your plants or pets dying, plants and pets are things in your life that you spend time and effort nurturing. So Lowenberg explains that if your pet dies in a dream, it could signal that you're forgetting to care about something else in your life. So for any of these things that would be in our care that are dying, we must ask ourselves, what in my life am I neglecting? Plants tend to represent something that has the potential to grow. A dog can represent a relationship. A cat often represents a woman, either the reproductive self or the sexual self. Fish can represent creative ideas, your ideas that thrive in your creative juices. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. God bless.